Hello and a very good morning, a very good afternoon, and a very good evening based on the time in which you'll be watching this video. I, well, as you all can see, the weather is, no one can make their mind up whether it's the summer season or the rainy season or at times the winter season. And I'm hoping that every one of you is doing well in this weather. And also, please do not catch a cold during this time because it's the temperature and the weather is changing and changing very frequently. So I hope that you all remain safe. Please avoid eating ice creams at this time and also cold drinks and also cold the water from the refrigerator. So where were we the last time? I think we are doing Asia and why Asia is called the continent of the extremes. Today, just let us see the last part of the chapter, that is Asia, the political divisions of Asia. Now, see, Asia is a very large continent. Asia has nearly 50 independent countries and political divisions. When there are so many countries, and also Asia is a land of extreme, Asia is also the birthplace of so many religions and so many cultures, having a few very old civilizations uh, which cropped up in the land of Asia, like the Chinese civilization, the or the Harappan civilization, the Egyptian, not the Egyptian, but then the Babylonian civilization. We have such civilizations also coming up in Asia. There are so many religions in Asia, there are so many languages spoken in Asia, there are so many different cultures in Asia. That is why Asia also has few distinctive groups of countries. There are these distinctive group of countries because of the different languages, maybe because of the economic conditions of those countries, maybe because of the languages or the common languages those countries speak, maybe because of the common religion those countries are having, or due to some geographical or economic or cultural factors. So there are a few things which do give rise to a large number of divisions in this continent of Asia because of maybe geographical or social factors. Now let us see which are those divisions one by one. As you can see in this map, the color orange is representing the countries of East Asia or Far East Asia or Eastern Asia. As you can make out from this map, the countries in the Eastern Asia are Mongolia, China, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, we have Taiwan. So these are the countries which are making up Eastern Asia. And let us look at a detailed map of this. Here we can see only the Eastern Asian countries which are in color. The rest of the Asian landmass is in white. So as you can see, the countries over here very distinctively mentioned. Next, let us look at the other grouping or the next grouping, that is West Asia. Again, looking at this map of Asia, we can find Western Asia in green. Now let us look, as you can see there's the Eastern Asia on the eastern side, Western Asia, and the others are there in between. We have Southern Asia or the Indian subcontinent. Then we have Southeastern Asia, we have Central Asia, and over there on the top we have the Northern Asia, or which is also the Asiatic Russia. Let us look at the map of Western Asia in detail. Here, as you can see, this is the map of Western Asia, and you can also look at the countries. They are given in different colors. Let me just tell you all the names of the countries which are there in Western Asia. You have Saudi Arabia given over here in purple. Then after that you have Yemen. Yemen is just below Saudi Arabia. After that you have Oman. Oman lies just below Saudi Arabia and beside Yemen, given in yellow. Next, after that you have Bahrain. Bahrain can be found just near the Persian Gulf over here. Bahrain is that country you can look at that tiny little country given in yellow just near the Persian Gulf, where it is given Bahrain and Manama. That is the country Bahrain. It's a very small country but also a very rich country. Next we have the country the United Arab Emirates, that is UAE. UAE over here you can find. It is in UAE that you have Dubai. Everyone knows about Dubai. It's a very famous country. Sorry, a very very famous city. So Dubai over here, UAE given in green color, just beside Saudi Arabia. Next, after UAE, we have the country Kuwait. Kuwait, if you all can remember the country Kuwait over here, just below Iraq. Iraq is given in green, and just above Saudi Arabia, the small little country over here, given in yellow. Kuwait, the capital being Kuwait City. If you all can remember the movie Airlift, in which Akshay Kumar starred, the Indians were rescued from the country of Kuwait. So here you have Kuwait. Next, the next country which we have in this Western Asian group is Iraq. Iraq over here, just above Kuwait or Saudi Arabia, we have in green over here Iraq, as you all can see. Next, after Iraq, we have Iran, the country just beside just beside Iraq, and also on this side over here, this white side, this side we have Afghanistan and Pakistan. So next we have Iran over here. After Iran, the next country which we have in this grouping is Jordan. Jordan is just above Saudi Arabia over here. You can see in yellow color, it is given Jordan over here. Jordan, if you all remember, the Dead Sea is in Jordan. The next country which we have over here is Lebanon. Okay, next we have Syria. So just above, not Lebanon but Syria, just above Jordan, we have Syria. Next, just beside Syria and just also above Israel, we have Lebanon given in brown color. These countries, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, these are the countries which lie just on the coast of the Mediterranean Sea alongside Turkey. Next, we have the next country over here is Israel. Israel is given in green over here. This is Israel. And over here, in between or in the country Israel, you find the pink color, that is the Palestinian territories. What is Palestinian and what is Palestine? You need to do a research on that. The conflict between Israel and Palestine. I will not be going into this or into that matter right now. Next, we have Turkey. Turkey, also called the sick man of Europe. Turkey over here. This Turkey is given in bright yellow, or you can see bordering on the orange side. As you can see, this country, the Istanbul over here, this city over here, Istanbul, just on the border of Europe and Asia. And you have to keep in mind that Istanbul is a city belonging to Turkey, which belongs to both the continent of Asia and Europe. So Turkey is one country or one such country which lies in two continents, Europe and Asia. Some parts of Turkey is lying in Europe, and most of the parts of Turkey is lying in Asia. Two such other countries which are there in two different continents, they are Russia, some parts of Russia lies in Asia and some parts of it lies in Europe. And also we have Egypt. As you all know, Egypt is a part of Africa, but over here you can see the color, the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. Sinai Peninsula, if you all remember while we were doing the first part of this chapter, this part given in the very light yellow color, this part Egypt, which is given this part lies in Asia. So Egypt also is one such country which is lying in two different continents, Asia and Europe. Next we have another country, we have Qatar. We have another country over here, Qatar. The capital of Qatar being Doha. Qatar also lies in this West Asian grouping alongside another country which is not visible in this map. We have Cyprus. So Cyprus is also lying in this the Western Asian grouping. The next grouping which we have is the Southeast Asia. Now one thing before we move on to the Southeast Asia, one thing to be kept in mind is that these West Asian countries are mostly rich in oil. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them have oil deposits, and most have the culture and the language and the religion being followed in this West Asian countries is more or less similar, except maybe a few countries like Israel, which is made up of Jews, or the Jewish population lives in Israel. Over in Lebanon, you will be finding the Christians as well as the Jews and the Islamic population. But in the rest of the countries, you have mostly dominant population is the Islamic population. Next, we move on to the other grouping, that is the Southeast Asian grouping. Now, as you can see in purple, it is given just near the Indian Ocean. You have the Southeast Asian countries. Now the Southeast Asian countries over here, you can see that most of them are islands, and they are having groups of islands. One thing to be kept in mind about the Southeast Asian countries is that the Southeast Asian countries are very prone to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. So most of the, if you all recall, remember, or have heard of the 2004 earthquake and the tsunami which took place in the Indian Ocean, that earthquake, the epicenter of that earthquake was somewhere around Indonesia. So this area, the Southeast Asian area and the Southeast Asian region, is prone to earthquakes and tsunamis, and also to volcanic eruptions. Let us see the detailed map of this place. Here, as you can see in the world map, the relative position of the Southeast Asian countries. So the Southeast Asian countries are taking up this. You will find it just above Australia in the Indian Ocean part. Which are the countries in this grouping? The countries in this grouping are, we have Myanmar, that is given in green. Next we have Malaysia. After that we have Thailand. Just follow the countries over there. I think it is visible to all of us. We have Thailand, we have Singapore, we have Cambodia, the other name being Kampuchea, we have Vietnam, we have Laos, we have Indonesia, we have Philippines and Brunei. Now if we look at Indonesia, you'll find that Indonesia is given in the bright purple color, and or violet color, whichever color I do get confused between violet and purple. So if you look at this country Indonesia, if you look at, you can find that it is made of so many small islands and so many big islands. There are so many islands in this grouping. This is an archipelago. An archipelago is a group of islands. As you can see, Indonesia is having so many islands, and it is covering such a huge area and having so many islands in between. This makes Indonesia the largest archipelago of the world. This is a fact. So keep this in mind, that Indonesia is the largest archipelago of the world. And we also find Philippines. Philippines is also made up of a large number of islands. So Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, these are island countries. And the other mainland countries, we have Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia and Thailand. Let us move to the next grouping, that is South Asia. South Asia is more close to home, and South Asia is also called the Indian subcontinent. Here we have the relative position of South Asia. South Asia or the Indian subcontinent. This is a very specific grouping having a very different and distinct set of climatic conditions, culture, and also this part was also under the British rule commonly for nearly the same amount of time. So this part over here is the the Indian subcontinent. It is called subcontinent. Why is it why do we call this area Indian subcontinent? It is so called because this area, this Indian subcontinent, what is a continent? The definition of a continent says that it is a huge landmass encompassing a large number, or having a large number of countries, or having a large area, or the large landmass and huge area covering it. Now if we look at the Indian subcontinent, it also covers a lot of area. If you look at the countries over there, we have Afghanistan, we have Pakistan, we have India, we have Nepal, we have Bhutan, we have Bangladesh, we have Sri Lanka. So many countries do cover a lot of area, a lot of physical space. That is why this is called a subcontinent, because it may not be as big as a continent, but it is also not very small to be called or to be named as just a small grouping. It is a subcontinent, which is nearly as big as a continent. So the countries over here, we have Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka. These countries also make up the SAARC countries, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So the SAARC countries, not to forget Maldives. So if anyone asks you all what are the SAARC countries, these are the countries making up the SAARC nations. SAARC stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Next grouping we have, that is the Middle East. Now this area is Middle East. Now Middle East was not, this term Middle East was given by the British military command during the Second World War, just because this Middle East area was actually very important for the Britishers, because this area is rich in oil, and this area was also a very troubled area because of the different cultural and religious conflicts which used to take place in these areas. That is that is why the Britishers gave a different name and to separate it from the rest of the continent. They gave a different name and made it a different group over here. So here we have the Middle East and the Middle Eastern countries. We have Turkey. We have even parts of Egypt over here. So keep in mind, Middle East does not only contain the Middle East was not a term which was restricted only for Asia. The Britishers gave this Middle East term on a world basis or on a larger basis, not because of only one continent. As you can see, Egypt lies in the African continent, so it does not. Middle East term is not only limited to the continent of Asia. We have Turkey, we have Iran, we have Syria, we have Jordan, we have Iraq, we have Saudi Arabia, we have UAE, Oman, Yemen, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Egypt. As you can see, the Middle East is having most of the countries of Western Asia. There are a few omissions, and there is only one extra, that is Egypt. The next one, or the next part which we have, that is the Asiatic Russia. Asiatic Russia is nothing but the Russia that is given in yellow ochre color or the mud color, which you can find at the top. It is given the Russian Federation, that is Northern Asia or the Asiatic Russia. That Northern Asia or the Asiatic Russia is the part of Russia which is there lying in the Asian part or in the Asian continent. The other part of Russia lies in the European continent, that is the European Russia, and here we have the Asian Russia. It is to be kept in mind that there is no actual division of land or there is no border in the country of Russia which separates the Asian part of Russia from the European part of Russia. This continental thing is just for understanding and for geographical reasons. So please do not think that somewhere in Russia you will find a border which will say, okay, this part is the Asian part of Russia and this part is the European part of Russia. If you have to move from this side to that, there will be restrictions. It is nothing such. The country of Russia is one whole country, that is the Russian Federation, but because of difference in culture and maybe difference in a few other things, social and other norms, we have difference in the continent. The next part, the USSR republics. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. Now, what is actually USSR? USSR was, or the grouping USSR, it came up after the Second World War, when there were two superpowers in the world, that is USA and Russia. USA was wanting to have a few countries or most of the countries to its side, and Russia was trying to have most of the countries to its side. As you all know that what happens when two people fight. When two people fight, they want to have as many members, or when two classmates are arguing in the class, both of them would like to have more and more of their classmates or their friends to be on their side. So this is what was happening during the after the Second World War. After the Second World War, these people, that is Russia and USA, were wanting to have as many countries on their side as possible. So these countries which joined the side of Russia were called the USSR countries, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, and these countries make up the USSR republics, or also modern day Central Asia. You can find Central Asia over here. Central Asia is having Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, then also Azerbaijan over here, and Georgia and Armenia, which is there in the western side. You can see, so these countries are making up the USSR republics. So this was more or less about the different groupings of Asia. I hope that this chapter was clear to all of you. If there were any problems, any doubts, I would request all of you to please give your doubts in the comment section so that I'll be able to answer them. And I also hope that you all keep on studying, keep on enjoying, and keep on taking care of each other. Thank you.